everybody. How you doing? Welcome to the Ship Squad. This is a relationship show where we're going to break down every imaginable relationship topic known to man. So tonight's topic, we're going to talk about some holiday dating. But before we get into that, I want to just introduce my co-host, my expert panelist. All right, Dr. Hosea Collins.
What's up? How we doing?
How you
I'm
doing?
ready to get into it. Let's talk about it. Folk need help. Let's give them what they need.
I'm telling you, are y'all going to be transparent today? That's all we care about.
All the way live.
I'm going to be as transparent as I am light skinned. Absolutely.
Y'all, we in for it. For it. All right, Janine, how you doing, girl?
I'm good. My name is Janine Atwood Baines, and I love. So I hope that we can help some people. I know we're going to help some people find real, healthy love.
So, Janine, are you one of those sisters that's in love with being in love?
That's what cable's for. I'm good. I don't. That's what cable's for.
That's right.
Hey. Yeah. All right, Mr. Transparent, as you are light skinned, Pastor Rick Arce in the house. What's going on?
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Ricardo Arce. I get the privilege and the honor to be married to a woman for 25 years who's been a tremendous blessing in my life. Her name is Colette Arce. And that's where my expertise come in from, right there. Not to mention,
none of us have ever seen her. Are you sure she really exists?
Man. Come on, that's my rib. Y'all seen her? Yeah, Janine.
I'm just joking. Colette is amazing. She's amazing. But we're not gonna hold up. Take any more time. Tonight's topic is on fire. It's on fire.
Let's get it.
And guys, if you have any type of a relationship question, hit me up, Zandra S. Wilson at yahoo.com or Betterflies Entertainment at gmail.com, and we will be ecstatic to answer whatever questions that you have.
Absolutely.
So roll it.
Put a message in the bottle, baby.
Send for me.
All right. What's the message for
the day? Guys.
What's the first message?
All right, so let me pull up these messages. So guys, again, we're gonna be nice.
Why would it be anything different?
I know. Okay, guys. So these are a couple of letters that people sent in to us dealing with holiday dating. So, okay, dear Ship Squad, I went to a really good friend's New Year's Eve pregame party and met his really cute best guy friend. We hit it off all night. I kind of got weak in the knees when he said his New Year's resolution was to only read books by female authors, and we made out at midnight. We had the most amazing first date a few days later and kissed goodbye as snow started to fall. Woo-hoo! The whole thing felt so magical until he started fading out on all my texts and kept dodging my hints that I wanted a second date. I never saw him again. I miss him. Should I try to find him and reach out? This is from Lori, age 27. So what y'all got to say to Lori?
That ship has sailed?
Yeah.
Long way short.
Just go with your life. Go with your life. Just
what I don't understand is why people need someone to say, I'm not interested. Their actions are telling you they're not interested. You need them to have on a t-shirt. They need to skywrite it. There's nothing you can do. That's like you have a balloon and it popped. And you say, my balloon popped. What can I do? Nothing. You can hold onto that balloon and dream about what it could have been.
Right.
You can get yourself another balloon.
You're exactly right. The problem is, Zandra, people have different expectations, and they allow their desire and expectation to make them delusional from accepting the truth, because she saw this night in her mind as the beginning of a fabulous year. Oh my God. God sent me this man on New Year's Eve that I made out with on New Year's Eve. My point exactly.
Right.
New Year's Eve. Not realizing in his mind Ooh, I ended the year off right. Now I'm gonna do better next year.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's what most men are thinking.
I didn't say most men. That man. Can we speak about that man? I won't make him representative of all the rest of us out here.
Well, why did he make out with her then if he know he didn't like her?
I just told. Did you not hear?
That's what I said.
He said, I ended this year off right.
Right.
I'm gonna do better.
Right.
Now, let me ask you, Chris, have you ever been able, or maybe you're getting ready to go on a fast, or you've made a health decision?
Yes, sir.
But that night before, that meal before,
yeah,
we couldn't even add up them carbs. You understand?
Yeah.
Well, there are a couple of things in this thing. Okay, first of all,
oh goodness me, grab my drink.
She opened herself up too soon for him. Let's just start there.
Absolutely.
She made out with him. Now we know what that means.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
What, Zandra? I forgot who we were talking to. My bad.
Your parents made out.
Right. And made you. Okay.
And you came out.
There you go. So she did this too soon.
Absolutely.
Any man of character, something, would not respect her. He's going to do what he's going to do. He's a man.
Oh man, come on now. Some of these men are marrying women who have been ran through. Come on now, who have been with a lot of different partners.
Your point is what?
My point is that a lot of these men claim that they have character.
No, you missing it.
Yeah, you totally missed it.
Yeah.
We talking about her past. Talking about her present.
Right. This is not, this wasn't her first rodeo. Let's put it that way.
Right. This wasn't her first New Year's Eve.
That was, right. True. And so she sits there, she plays up to this man. She gets his fantasy in her head. She has the Disney syndrome. I think Janine says it best when she talks about it.
Your inner Disney Channel.
There you go. There you go. So she plays this up. She has this mindset, and in her mind, the fantasy was there. Everything was beautiful. Okay. She says it. This dude, number one, let's play out this. He dodges her calls. He doesn't return her calls. He pretty much looks at himself as like, okay, she's not the one for me. She's definitely not the one for me. Mm-hmm. Because of, in my opinion, one thing, she gave it up too soon. That's just me.
And we don't know that. We don't know that.
Look, she said they made out.
That don't mean made out doesn't mean they had sex. Made out could mean they just kissed. And maybe he just felt her up.
Whatever they did physically, other than the physical stuff, he never said, I'm interested.
Nope.
I'm digging you.
In fact,
I want to do more with you.
In fact, he was playing her because he says, if I'm not mistaken, what was it? He's talking about he's going to read more books. His New Year's resolution is going to read more books by
no, only books that are read about women. Not that wasn't a wake up. What man
can't even read?
By women.
What are we talking about?
See, but this is what women often do in many cases, or at least her. I'll put that. I won't put all women in their category. She filtered his action through her desire.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Good.
And that's how you get mixed signals.
Right.
Because you have a desire. So you're already mentally manipulating my action to be interpreted based on your desire. You're not interpreting my action by my action. You're interpreting it by your desire.
Yeah. And she, in addition to that, Z, I believe wholeheartedly, in his mind, okay, he probably had someone else. There was no emotional attachment.
Right.
He pretty much wasn't interested in being committed. That could be another one.
Yeah.
And he just wanted you for New Year's Eve to say, hey, this is what I did on New Year's Eve. Just saying.
And you know what? No matter what his reasonings are.
Yeah.
It's true.
He's out. We could pontificate on all the reasons why, and he could this and he could. The one thing we know, He didn't want her.
He's out.
Yeah.
He left with that year.
Right.
Thank you.
There's a scripture. There's a scripture that says
for old lang syne.
right. No, right.
He
There's
said,
a scripture that's it's in the book of Solomon, Songs of Solomon, and it says, "Daughters of Zion, don't awaken love too soon."
Soon. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could use that pretty much being young or just being overwhelmed with your emotions. And I believe wholeheartedly that could play into this.
Right. Or the desire to make out on New Year's Eve. I mean, you know,
right.
As the ball is dropping,
yes, it's
people
romantic.
will say all kinds of things and what they're going to read in the new year, what they're going to do in the new year.
My man said he's going to read books.
Right?
Probably
can't even read. I don't trust it.
Based on this letter, I don't think she read very well either. She didn't read the situation very well.
Yes, Lori, look, Lori, I get you, girl. So
and look, Lori, we have love for you. We're saying don't waste your time trying to figure out someone who's already showed you that they're not interested.
Right, Zandra, this isn't your letter, right? You didn't write this.
That's a waste of time.
Oh, come to that.
Change the name. No, I completely get it. You guys are all right. Yes, that ship has sailed. Lori, girl, moving on. Don't waste your time trying to figure out what happened, why he did what he did.
He does not want you.
He doesn't.
That's all. That's the takeaway.
Yeah,
that is the takeaway.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay.
And knowing his reasoning doesn't change who you are.
Won't help it.
Yeah.
Won't help it.
Sometimes they make it worse.
Absolutely.
All you can do, Lori, is learn from this situation and move forward with more wisdom.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
And just don't do any more making out on New Year's. Don't just no. And then you won't get caught up. You won't get your feelings caught up. So. Okay, guys. Here's a second letter.
Another message in the bottle, baby.
Hit it now. Okay. Ooh, this is someone that was ghosted. This is from Sheila. Dear Ship Squad, I was ghosted in late 2018 by a guy who I met on a dating app. I fell really hard and liked him so much that I wanted to DTR. What is DTR, y'all?
Define the relationship.
Yeah.
But he kept on giving me excuses that didn't make much sense, like that he was new in town and thought that committing to a new relationship would make it harder for him to make friends. So we decided to slow it down because I told him I would just continue to fall harder for him if we didn't, and that's not fair. But I really thought we were just slowing down, not that I would literally never hear from him again. A few days after Christmas, I realized he had unfollowed me on Instagram, so I unfollowed him back. But his profile was still public. On New Year's Day, I went to go creep on his profile and noticed he had posted a photo the night before with a new girl at a party with the caption clearly stating that they were dating. So much for not wanting to commit to a relationship. What could I have done to keep him interested? Girl.
Okay, can we just take a moment, have a moment of silence for the fact that she started with back in 2018? That's before the pandemic. That's before masks and all that. You gotta, woo!
Wow.
That's funny.
That was funny.
Come on now.
Evidently, she's still hurting. Situation here is very, very quick, simple. Didn't she say he was new in town?
Right.
At that time, that's what she said.
Right.
Okay, he brand new. He ain't seen what the town had to offer yet. He's still exploring. Who walks in the store? Y'all don't walk in the store and buy the first pair of shoes you see and walk in.
No.
But when he said slow down, he just realized he didn't want to commit. And watch this. This may sound crazy. And I'm not saying he's good and righteous or nothing. He may have actually been regarding her feelings by trying to get out of the relationship before he further pursued a committed relationship with someone else. Now, yeah, I'm not saying he's right, but I'm saying in his mind, he may have been trying to guard her, because if he unfollowed you, he tried to save your heart from seeing what broke your feelings.
Some people may see that as cowardly, though. He just tell them.
No, he tried to stop you from seeing what you saw. Because I'm getting ready to post some stuff with my real boo. And the one that I was just starting to get to know, I don't want her to have a little feelings hurt. So let me unfollow her and get her.
He would need to have blocked her though. Because if he, for instance, for her not to see it, he would need to have blocked her.
Right.
I'd like to pretend that he was that kind and concerned about her feelings and what she, because see, that's my inner Disney channel.
That all of you guys are naive.
That's Disney Plus. Come on,
Disney Plus.
That's Disney Plus. He didn't care.
This dude had a stand
ladies, we have to guard our hearts.
Yes.
We have to protect ourselves. We have to stop walking through the world, giving it up, literally, to anyone who smiles at us and then wondering why they don't put a ring on it.
Right. The biggest dilemma right now, and even here, it's about building trust in any relationship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any relationship has to build a trust factor.
Right.
And you're right, Janine, going back to, allowing your heart to race before you, not guarding your heart, really comes into play. Absolutely.
One more time. I need to go.
Keep going. And she said, what could I have done differently? Been someone else? Because he didn't want you. And I'm not being harsh, but maybe I am being harsh. We have to deal with reality.
He didn't want you.
We can't make people want us. And you shouldn't want anyone that you have to try to want you. And we as women, we're not supposed to chase after men. You're supposed to find me. I need to be findable. That's my job.
Ooh, findable.
I need to be findable.
Write that down.
Be findable. That's
chasing after you? Oh, no. If anything, I wave at you as you go because I know what you're missing out on.
Right.
And I'm thank you for moving on, because that reserved seat in the front row of my life is still open.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask you a question? I have a question specifically for the ladies on this panel. He tried to break up with her in a slow fashion. Mm-hmm. He made it apparently obvious when he unfollowed her to try to separate from her on his social media.
Right.
At that point, you then broke up with me, said we need to slow down, unfollowed me, which shows me this is more than a slowdown. Why is I'm just asking, why is she snooping on his page after his action revealed, I don't want you there? I'm just asking a question.
Put your finger down.
No.
This is for the women. This is for the women.
He asked us. Sandra, I yield to you. If you'd like to go first.
I may be the wrong one to ask. You
are.
Because all this that she did, I just wouldn't. It's not in my nature, I should say, to have done. But to answer your question, Dr. Hosea Collins, it's foreclosure and to see, and let me just see if this guy is really moved on, or who is she? I mean, this chick knew that there were probably somebody else. Now, I agree with you. He gave her, it's a list of stuff that he's done. She in this letter is doing all of the work. She wants to define the relationship. He kept giving her excuses. Now, that would have been my out right there when he kept giving excuses. But what I'm learning too is that so many women are chasing men, and a lot of men they are saying that they like to be chased. And we could bring some of the brothers on the show. You guys like it. A lot of guys like the attention. They like the women to track them down and to say no. So that's what my experience from talking to some of the brothers. It's very few guys that are into this hunting.
Right. So, Pastor Hosea, I think where a lot of women get tripped up and why we start looking at people's Facebook pages and all that kind of stuff. First of all, we have this false sense of connectivity for social media, which allows us to get into people's business in a way that we didn't. In the old days, you had to drive by his house.
Yeah. Yep. And wait.
You had to go up to his job, right? It was gas money involved in this. Now you can scan the badge, right? Yeah. And get into folks' business.
It's funny.
Women are hardwired to be somebody's rib, right? Okay. So we walk around looking for the rib cage we belong to. And every single guy is like, do I belong to you? Do I belong to you? Do I belong to you? Some of us have figured out how to control those urges. We can recognize it. And some of us haven't. And for those that haven't, we are so driven by, I'm somebody's rib, I'm somebody's rib. Who's going to give me their last name? I'm somebody's rib. That even when someone breaks up with us, whether nicely or harshly, we're still driven by what's in our DNA to be somebody's rib.
Wow.
Well, I can flip on the other side of that where, and I hear you, Janine, where some women, that's just what drives them. You have it now where things are so, and I know that I'm the exception to the rule when it comes to a lot of this stuff I just wouldn't do. I know Pastor and you, Rick, have both said, I don't do nothing. Y'all say I don't do no work. And
so I'm just a unicorn. Let's just.
I think I do a lot of work, but they say I don't do no work. So it's like, well, I don't know so for women, like you said, Janine, which is the truth, you had to drive by the house, because I did that drive by before. I've been there. And you said it was the phone calls. I never did the phone calls, but I need to see for myself. But it was someone that I was in a committed relationship with. Because guys, you lie, you say you in. So at that point, there's nothing you can say.
Right.
I'm not. You can't come and say, well, I was with my sister. We were just sitting up. There's nothing you can say. Anybody that's dealt with me know, like, all right, this, So as Janine just said, it's like you're hardwired. And then you start believing the stories that you guys know that these women, you tell them all kind of crazy stuff. That was my sister. Right. And you end up caught up into these crazy relationships.
Something else, most people don't know how to give themselves closure. People mistakenly believe that it takes two for closure. Who can I tell you? Closure party of one. I can have a good old time wrapping it up by myself. Because I know that even if I talk to you, you're not going to say what I need to hear to make it make sense anyway. Right?
Yep.
And as you're talking, I'm like, okay, if I have to post bail, I need to do that before lunchtime so I can be home that night.
Yeah.
Leave the other folks out of it. Figure out how to find closure within yourself. Unpack that for yourself. Say what you need to say to you, right? Release that person and move on, because looking on their Facebook page for evidence, for proof of what they're doing, who they're doing it with, all that's going to do is have you replay in your mind, okay, but when you were on the phone with me, you must have been posting this picture of you with such and such. You don't need all of that. Let these people go. When they tell you they're not interested, believe them.
Yep.
Let them go.
Hey, what you say?
That's
stalker.
Some of y'all are just stalking instead of leaving people alone.
That's what I said.
No, she's right. This lady Sheila's 21 though. So Sheila, honey,
she's young.
You're young.
Yeah, she's a baby for sure.
Just let it go. Just like you were a teenager back then. So we're gonna give you a pass.
Yeah,
we're gonna give you a pass.
And look to the 41-year-old Sheilas and the 51-year-old Sheilas who can write the same letter. Y'all let it go too.
Yeah,
let it go.
I think you better let it go.
Boom, boom.
All right, let's move to our next one, y'all.
like another love TKO.
Boom, boom, boom.
Y'all
Oh,
don't have no type of empathy.
Y'all supposed to be holy. Y'all supposed to be holy.
We are holy. Now we're about to hear from Lily. Lily, 29. Now Lily been with her man. This is a good one. She's been with her man for a couple of years, y'all. Lily was ghosted by her boyfriend of 2 years right before Christmas of 2013. Back then, she hadn't even heard of
that or reciting it?
I'm reading the letter. That's what she said.
Okay.
Oh, I sound like you were reciting it. I'm sorry.
No.
I can play
Back
on the
then, she hadn't even heard of the term ghosting. She just totally stopped hearing from him. Finally, after a week of radio silence, I went back on the site where we had initially met and saw that he had reactivated his profile. I confronted him with a text on December 23rd, basically telling him I wanted my stuff back. Girl, how long ago? I'm assuming that she did all this closer to 2013, not 2021. Basically telling him I wanted my stuff back and that he should text me a time when he was out of his apartment so his roommate could get me my things. He did, I did, and then I proceeded to spend Christmas Eve and Christmas Day depressed and heartbroken. She wants to know why people ghost.
Because they don't want to tell you they're leaving because you might try to stop them.
You can tell them over the phone. You can tell them over the phone.
Right.
First of all, okay, let's go back to 2013. Do the math on 2013. She's 29 now. Lily. So she was a young woman at the time. And I don't know, maybe the guy she was dating was pretty young himself.
Well, that's a good point.
And so you do stuff like that when you're young.
No, you have some old
you
people
do stuff like that when you're young, when you're old, when it's Tuesday.
I'm just going off
people
the letter.
Just
off the letter.
Usually, though, when you're older, you don't usually do it after 2 years of dating. You do it in the beginning.
Yeah, you did it because it's true.
Yeah, for
true.
2
Not to mention,
ghost at all. Why ghost at all?
Right.
With
Good point. But you know what? We can't control other people. Why do people ghost? Why do people cheat? Why are people married for 25 plus years and then one day tell their spouse, you know what? I don't think I can do this
done, right? Yeah.
anymore.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who knows why anybody does anything? Do you?
Yeah, do you? And I would say to this, it was a couple of days before Christmas. My brother didn't want to spend any money. Just saying.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Why is it always money with you guys?
Because that's what drives a lot of men to success.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but even with that,
yes,
it seems like some of them ghost around the holidays because they know that there's so much tied to gift giving. Yep. And they're afraid that anything I give you, you're going to translate it into an engagement ring.
Yep. That too. Yes. That too.
That's why we need conversations. I don't the dating now is just crazy to me. Look, that's why I've been by myself. Is that my excuse?
Tell us about
your dating. By myself. That's why
Listen.
After the one time,
let me help.
You ain't gonna
let me help some women not feel bad for being ghosted.
Help.
If he ghosted his kids, what do you think you?
Come on, man.
Who do you
know
that
what?
part?
Yeah,
that part.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to the liquor store. I'll be back.
That part.
That's 70s,
right?
I don't know what the 80s. What was the 80s?
And
men ghost for this reason. They're not, for whatever you want to call it, man enough, whatever cows, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
To face it's like, watch this. Same thing. I know this is different, but it's the same thing inwardly that makes them do it. What makes a person just not show up for work anymore versus submitting a letter of resignation?
Yeah.
What makes a person not show up?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to answer the questions.
Yeah.
I don't want accountability.
Yeah.
I don't want confrontation.
Yeah.
I don't want, and I'm not justifying none of this, but the question is why? Here's why. Now, anybody he doesn't want accountability, who doesn't want confrontation, who doesn't
and you want him anyway.
Right.
Why do you want to build a life with that person?
Right.
That attribute alone shows you you're better without them.
Yep.
Yes.
Because trying to follow someone like that, that's hell for a lifetime.
Sure.
You
Come
dealt
on.
with it.
Yeah.
However time you dealt with it. So in other words, rather than saying complaining, say thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
There we go.
Another moment.
And let me share this with you. It's one of the things, and you deal with this on the whole, which equals abandonment, and you have you're gun shy and get into your next relationship.
Yeah.
When a man specifically, even a mother, I'll say a father or mother rather, once one of the reasons why they don't go back and see their children, because they don't want to face their failures.
Yep.
And so the child thinks,
oh, wow.
Yep.
Yeah. The child thinks that person doesn't want them. The mother or father doesn't want them because of something they did. And release yourself, honestly, please, right now in this season, release yourself from it, because it's what they don't want to face is where they failed. Men, especially men, we hate to go back to the place where we failed. We just don't like it because it's responsibility, it's accountability, all of that comes into play. Absolutely.
That makes sense.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So that translates to he ghosted her because he didn't want to pay for the Christmas gift. That's pretty much
that part.
That's what it was.
Well, look, Sandra, you've been talking about dating during the holidays. I found some dating tips.
Okay.
Come on.
Let me pull them up. You want me to pull them up, or you gonna pull them up?
I got them.
You got
some
them.
dating tips here. Okay, 8 do's and don'ts for the holidays.
Do's and don'ts.
Okay, y'all got to tell me. Some of these. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
To agree or disagree?
Or disagree.
That is the question. Okay. Number 1, don't put too much pressure on finding a partner by New Year.
All right.
Agree.
That's agree.
Agree.
I agree.
Yeah, I
agree. I agree.
What if your family though is sweating you?
Tell them to shut up. This is one of the things, guys, you got to help me out. I've never understood that. I have no problem being a third wheel. I never understood why you have to be hugged up with somebody during the holidays.
Well, I'm going to tell you why people do it. Most people don't follow the advice of the Bible that tells us not to compare ourselves among ourselves.
Bingo.
And those that do that are unwise. People do compare themselves among others. Yeah. And they judge whether they're okay by how they feel they measure up with their peers.
Your peers. Yep.
Right. If the peers have something I don't have, I automatically begin to see that as I'm without. What's wrong with me? I'm not measuring up. And all of these things. And the Bible.
And it does depend on the family, because some families, other ones, particularly in certain families, if you're not married by a certain time, something's wrong with you.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Especially the South, because my family is from the South, and I had a girlfriend that she was like, well, no, I just need to hurry up and get married. I mean, her mind just shifted because we were in the industry together to where I need to just get married and have this kid. And I'm like, huh? But that was her. She got married and she had her child.
You know what? Think about all that we're bombarded with leading up to the holidays, right? On average, we're exposed to about 7,000 images.
Wow.
Messages, right? So if you're looking at magazines, you're reading TV, you're on the internet, etc., every advertisement, especially now, is home for the holidays, this for the holidays. They're selling toothpaste, people are hugged up. M&Ms are hugged up. It's Doritos, Pepsi, toilet bowl, cheese, shoes, toothbrushes, whatever. Everything is sold with the image of people hugged up.
Yeah.
And so how do you face that and not feel different, like something's off or that you're missing out? Because you're constantly surrounded by holidays are about family.
Sure.
It's all about the family. And if you don't have that, and it's at church too.
Oh, yeah. Girl, when you get married.
Right? You can't escape it. You're sitting there as a single, and the pastors are talking all about the family holiday dinner and this for the family and that for the family. And you're just sitting there looking for your rib cake.
Right.
How do you not buy into the pressure?
Yeah.
That's good.
That's good.
Is that a question or it's rhetorical?
I think it's rhetorical because I think as long as you acknowledge the fact that there is pressure.
That's good.
Right?
That's good. Make sure you plug into the right source for your information, because there are a whole lot of sources of information.
Say that.
That leads us into that direction.
Absolutely.
Now, is that more so for women than men? Men, do men get antsy around the holidays and wanting to be?
No, men get mad.
Okay.
Yeah, men get
mad. Men get depressed.
It's another bill. It's another bill.
It's another bill. Thank you, Pastor. It's another bill.
Yeah.
So as a man, like, I had to change my perspective. I remember, I'll tell this the truth, and this is even after I started pastoring, I was still on this in the beginning. Christmas was my most hated holiday.
I believe it.
Oh, wow.
For a lot of fathers, absolutely.
And depression around Christmas. Man, I started getting so mad, all that Christmas music started going, I cut off the radio.
Yeah.
Because it was creating anxiety. Like, God, dog, these kids want this and that. I'm barely keeping the lights on.
Yeah.
I gotta get something for this, and I gotta get something for that one, and then my wife and man, I don't know what. And it be like Pastor Rick said it perfectly. It becomes another bill if you don't have. If you watch this, if you're plugged into the wrong source of information.
Yes, sir.
Ooh.
And you're not consciously feeding yourself rightfully of what it's really about. You get sucked into the whole capital
season.
Oh,
right. Now, is that your own pressure or is the pressure outside sources?
It's all the above.
Yeah.
Because your own pressure comes from external. You want to be the greatest father in the world on Christmas Day.
Every year.
You want your children to be able to, you want to see those smiles on the face. No man wants his wife looking at him like, this joker.
She might understand, though. Maybe y'all didn't have it that year.
If you married that.
It doesn't matter. Even if she's supportive, you're still thinking that she's thinking, watch this. She on the phone with her girlfriend, and they son new Power Wheel that cost $300, and they the same age, and now her son want to play with their son in his new Power Wheel because you couldn't afford one. Like, that's the pressure that comes on. Watch this. That comes on a good man.
Yeah.
But that's the pressure you brought on yourself, though.
No.
What I'm telling you, a Negro that ain't moved is a man that don't give a darn because he wasn't doing nothing for him nowhere.
Yes, sir.
I'm not saying that. Now, hear me out.
We're co-creating that pressure.
So if I'm married to a man and I know that we're struggling, I know he don't got it. I'm not saying you don't feel a certain way. I'm not saying that. But it should be, remember you were saying what source you're plugged into, right?
Yeah.
So if you know you cannot, if I know you ain't got it, how can I be mad at you if I know you done all you can and you don't have it?
Hey, listen, this is what I need you to understand. Let's say you're that woman.
Right.
You still have your friends and your community.
So
I'm answering your question. Your question was a why.
Breathe.
Okay.
You said why.
All right. I'm why.
And now you're around them. The children are around them. This man wants to be able to give you all and more of what your sister husband gave her and their children. He wants to be able to provide
I get
a comfortable situation. So you may have not said anything,
right?
But just the reality of where you are is highlighted in that season.
Yeah, even at Thanksgiving, when you know you have to pretty much put that food on the table and so forth. As a man, you think of it being a bill. You're paying for everybody that's coming over. Christmas, same thing. And I'll share this with you, very personal. I didn't see my dad for second time seeing him in my life. He comes in town like 23 years later. I wanted to impress him because he never gave me the upbringing of supporting me, money, nothing like that. So my ego says, I'm going to show you that. I invited him to my house, my church. I took him around. He had to spend nothing. I spent over $7,000 within 2 freaking weeks. Oh, wow. Now, this may not be much for you. I'm just saying during the time, I had lost my mind because I was trying to prove, this is my point. It was ego.
Yeah, I got you.
It was ego. And my point, my brother's pretty much pointing out, is that sometimes our ego is like, I want you to be A, B, and C. You know, that can come into play also. So I'm just telling you.
So let me ask you this. What's the Christian answer? What is the, so let's flip it to what should happen.
Be content in all things.
Exactly. Going back to the source. Going back to the right source.
Yeah.
The right source. Because watch this. When I really tuned in and finally got my perspective, and Pastor Rick, to his point, checked my ego.
Yeah.
And acknowledged what this is really about and started to shift in my thinking. Watch this. That's when I was in the position to give them what they wanted. To provide the type of holiday.
That's what we need to hear.
That didn't come until my thinking came. Because Satan didn't have that to work with anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, come on.
All right. That's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
That's good stuff.
Look, that's good. I think women need to be aware of the struggles that you're having.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's a behind the scenes thing. And if you don't let me into it,
you're right.
I don't know.
Yeah,
you know, we just bought a house. And so we already have the conversation because we go crazy for each other for Christmas. The average is 5 gifts plus whatever goes in the stocking. I'm like, we're going to have to chill out. We have a mortgage now, you know, but we had that conversation. So no one has anxiety and worrying about someone else's expectations.
Yeah.
You're right. We're guilty of not talking about it with you guys, but just being short and snappy.
Yes.
Mean. And you, what's wrong with you? What do you mean what's wrong with me?
Right.
And it's really the pressure. That we're falling.
Right.
But so guilty.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Number 2.
I think we need another dating tip. Okay. Number 2. It says, do embrace the holiday spirit.
All right. How do we do that, sis?
Yeah. Well, do you agree or not?
Right. I agree. I don't think that hiding from the holidays is the answer.
I know that don't work. It'll find you. You can't play hide and go seek good enough to get away from the holidays.
It will smack you and lay you out in front of everybody, right?
Right,
so whatever it is that you do that. If you like to decorate, if you like to bake, if you're into the ugly sweater ministry, whatever that is, embrace it. Yeah. And not from the perspective of what you don't have.
Yeah.
During the holiday season.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that'll jack you up. Because you could again turn up that inner Disney channel and other people are taking the family pictures and their little Christmas outfits. Right. And it's the wife and the husband and the perfect kids and the perfect dog. Everything is perfect.
Yep.
Yeah.
They could be divorced before they take their next picture next year. But you're so caught up in what you don't have.
The image, yeah.
Right? Yeah. And I also don't think that the answer is if you're single, then just go serve at a soup kitchen.
Oh yeah.
Right? Because being at the soup kitchen is going to remind you that other people are home with their boo, and because you ain't got nobody, you at the soup kitchen.
You might meet your husband at that soup kitchen, but don't play.
Right. But what I'm saying is,
he's serving.
Do you embrace it? Do you?
Yeah.
And don't do what other people are telling you you should do or what other people expect of you for the holidays, because that'll jack you up too. You have to embrace it your way.
That's a good point.
That's a very good point.
I agree with that.
Okay, Sandra.
Uh-oh. What's this, number 3?
I can't wait to see what you say about this one. Okay, number 3. Don't overdo gift giving.
Agreed.
Best comment all night. Absolutely.
Yes.
I agree. So let's define overdoing gift giving.
Well,
some of us ain't giving nothing, right?
It's subjective, right? It's subjective. What one person does as gift giving could be over the top for someone else, could be underwhelming for someone else.
Right.
I think what's important, especially if there's someone new in your life or you're in the early stages of the relationship, it's almost like oversharing. You want to be as transparent as you can. So it could be as simple as, hey, this is how I get down for the holidays. This is what I like to do. I like to make all my gifts, or I bake all my gifts, or whatever. I saw something, reminded me of you, really want you to have it. No expectations.
Hey, I got a question, Janine. So let's say, okay, you meet a guy, I don't know, 2-3 weeks before Christmas. Do you have a conversation about gifts at all?
You give him the biggest gift ever in life.
You just empty out your bank account. So that's because what I'm finding is that's where a lot of the ghosting comes in. You meet a guy and then it's all awkward and then he disappears until New Year. So how do you then have that conversation with someone to like, dude, I don't even know, what do you say? Like,
how about you just don't give? I'm sorry, Janine was the question. My name is Ricardo. My bad.
Well, look.
Ricardo.
We know that when people have the opportunity to just say, I'm not interested, they may opt to just ghost someone, right? So just straightforward communication is not everyone's go-to. But I think that, especially, I'm a gift giver, right? And I will gift myself. Don't even need you. I will gift myself. But I get joy from giving things to other people and seeing the looks on their faces. I'm not going to let a new person stop my flow. I'm a giver. I'm going to tell you I'm a giver. So I'm going to give you something. And I might not even say this until I'm actually giving the gift. Like I did that with my now husband. We were friends. He's a tap dancer. This was back when the movie Happy Feet was out. He studied with Savion Glover, right? So he loved the movie. We loved the movie. I went and bought the DVD for him of the movie with zero expectations of anything.
Right.
Literally. And I was struggling with, do I like him? Do I not like him? Is he more than a friend? But because I enjoy gift giving so much, I don't let anybody else taint that.
Right.
So I'm giving this to you, not looking for anything, not expecting anything in return. And that's what gift giving should be about. You should be able to give without baggage. And you should be able to receive without baggage. And sometimes if somebody gives us something, we feel bad if we don't have something to give back to them.
Sure.
But that's why I appreciate you making that clear when you gave him the gift.
Right.
You making it known like, hey, this is something I like to do. I'm not looking for anything. So you removing that pressure and him seeing that being genuine. The problem would be if you meet somebody 2 or 3 weeks for Christmas and you give them something and looking side-eyed it, you don't get nothing back. Now you got an attitude, and not like that's when it becomes a problem.
Right.
When it's not communicated, it becomes a major problem. I've been in that situation many years ago. I gave someone gave me a nice gift, and I had a $3 gift, and she did not like the $3 gift.
This is almost like love languages, though, right? How you communicate, and some people need to get things.
I don't know if a love language is one of them being cheap.
Yeah, look cheapo.
Just
like mine is acts of service. Just do something for me. I agree. I don't know how you do have that conversation.
No, it's very simple. Watch this. Here's what I would say. If you're nervous about this, and you got anxiety, you need to have the conversation.
Absolutely.
You be like, hey, you know what? This been on my mind. I don't know why. I just want to make sure. I know we just met. Now, were you expecting us to do gift giving, or what was your expectations?
Yeah, I want to give.
If they were, well, you know what? Because we haven't been together, I think it's fair. Why don't we create a budget for one another?
What if he don't want to give a gift? What if one of them don't want to give a gift and the one do?
You don't give it.
It's a communicated budget. That's usually not a problem.
99 cents.
$20, but
and look, if seriously, if you cannot communicate with someone about a gift exchange or not, you cannot build a life. If you can't even have a conversation about that, you can't talk about the hard stuff like infertility and other things that could be a part of your journey. That's a great place to start. I'll figure out the gift thing.
I have a question for Zandra. Zandra, help me understand this. You meet a guy, let's say 4 weeks before Christmas.
Okay.
What's your budget if he says, yes, let's exchange?
I wouldn't ask him, but you're assuming that he would ask me.
No. What's your budget? Meaning, what in your head, what would be your budget for him?
See, it depends. Like right now, is when I didn't have any money, when I was really struggling, zero. I would give him a card or something like that. Why are you laughing? Or make him a cake. No, because I'm an
not even a $5 gift card.
Don't nobody want a Christmas card.
But see, this is what I'm saying. This is the problem. I'm an excellent baker, so I would bake him, ask him his favorite dessert.
The jury is still out on that. Go ahead.
I'm an excellent baker.
I've had some of the stuff. She's good.
Yeah. So I would bake for him, but when if I didn't have it, then I wouldn't even ask. And here's a true story. This was around my birthday. I think I shared this once before, where this guy, I was talking to him. He asked me. I never said, well, my birthday is coming up. It's October 2nd. Never said a word. He asked me what I was doing that particular weekend. I said, well, I'm going up to Santa Barbara. I was like, oh, well, what's going on up to Santa Barbara? And I said, oh, well, it's my birthday weekend. I'm just going to, hang out. He's like, oh, okay. Never said anything, didn't, he never said like, oh, happy early birthday or happy, never said a word. But I didn't I didn't say anything because I'm like, okay. Yeah. Didn't hear from him for like maybe 5 or 6 weeks later. Now, this was a guy that was calling me every other day.
Smart.
Every other day. He disappears. And then the Negro ghosted. Yes. So then he pops up.
Why? Why do you think he ghosted you, Zandra?
Because clearly he thought I wanted a birthday gift.
Bingo.
Clearly.
He just didn't have the pressure of having to give you one.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm saying. I would never talk to a guy like that. Never. I don't care what your excuse is. There's nothing you can say to me. Because it's an idiotic move. Dude, this was the same dude that kept trying to get me to go to dinner.
Watch this.
I wasn't expecting anything from him.
McDonald's and an expensive gift are two different things.
I wasn't expecting anything from him though. And he asked me, okay, Pastor, go ahead, weigh in on that.
No. I think this is something for people to learn from. Instead of us getting upset over things like this, let that be data and God revealing things to you. So you don't invest any wasted time.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
It's not worthy of your investment.
Yes, Lord.
A lot of times, well, I don't understand why he would do it. And as Janine said, it doesn't matter why he would do it. You know that's something you don't want in your life. And you were able to learn that before you 2 years into the relationship.
Amen. I
So
agree.
smart move on you, Zandra. Smart move.
Yeah, I haven't, yeah, yeah.
So you didn't answer the phone when he called back 6 weeks later?
I did not answer the phone. He's been calling. It's been over a year. You explain that one.
No, answer the phone the week before your birthday.
And if he called you for Christmas,
what you doing? Planning for my birthday.
Nothing to do with
see what happens. Let's see what happens.
I want nothing.
Okay, y'all. We have a few more tips.
Okay.
There's something coming up. I'm like, okay. The next one, I think is a given. I can't imagine why this will be a light bulb going off for anybody. It's do be aware of how much you drink.
Yeah, Zandra.
I don't drink. I am. Look,
what's in your class? What's in
pineapple juice.
Okay. I mean, I think that's a given, right?
Yeah, that's a given.
That's a given.
Really?
But
that's what happened to the girl on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Yeah.
Too much alcohol. I agree. I definitely agree. Don't.
Right. So, but number 5.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't rush the pace of your new
relationship. This is a good one.
Right? And this goes back to,
come on now.
Yeah, this goes back to looking at what other people have, where other people are, being bombarded with all the holiday messaging about being booed up, right? So you just met somebody on the 20th.
And you're inviting them to Christmas dinner.
Right? On Christmas Eve, you trying to go all in.
Yep.
Right? If it's new, it's new. It doesn't matter if it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, whatever. Do not try to push it. Do not try to make it more than what it is, or it's going to implode.
Mm-hmm. Good.
We got to fight the urge, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That's the truth. I agree. Don't push it. And then defining it and what pace, that's the $1 million question. Dr. Jose, you gave me some of the best advice. One of the things you told me, you were like, Zandra, just enjoy. Have fun. Just go out and enjoy. Don't look for nothing.
Let me give people the context so they would understand. Zandra would go on one date and expect to know if this is her husband by the end of the night. I was like, slow down. Well, I don't know. And it would be like this dude would be in an interrogation. He would rather be in a police station the whole day. She put out her pad and start from the top. So how are you on this? What are you doing on this? And it was it. But what I was saying, when you're dating, try not. Now you know what you want. You know if you want marriage, if you want family, if you want children, whatever it is, you know what you want. So date expecting to receive that from God.
Yeah.
But don't go out on every date expecting to receive that from the person you on the date with.
Right.
Remove those expectations. Go out and have fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Enjoy the date.
Yeah.
And just you like filet mignon, order some filet mignon.
Right.
You like jazz, listen to the live jazz.
Yeah.
Enjoy, have conversation, ask questions, but take that pressure off of you. I gotta make this work. Make this work. It might not work.
Not be the one.
You know where that comes from, though?
You buy a new car. I gotta make this car work. No, if you gotta make it work, leave it on the lot.
But that's our inner Disney Channel or Lifetime or Hallmark. A lot of people are watching Hallmark this time of year. When you think about it, the relationship happens in 120 minutes, right? They see each other. The whole relationship. It's 120 minutes, right? They see each other. Their eyes lock. They twinkle. They automatically feel something different in that gaze that they haven't felt anywhere else, right?
Right.
And so they're trying to move towards each other. There's always something that happens. You know, I thought we were on the same page and we're not. And then they have to find their way back to each other. But that happens in 120 minutes. Mm-hmm. And even if the time of the story spans a couple of months, you're watching it in 120 minutes. These people find real, true love.
Happily ever
last a lifetime in 120 minutes. You trying to tell me I can't figure that out over dinner?
Come on now. Shoot, I got my list of questions.
This is how I'm hardwired. I'm watching all this stuff. I should be able to know 120 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours. She said 120 minutes.
Yeah, 2 hours. That's a lot of pressure on a man also when you're interrogating him like that.
But look, there's pressure on me too, because I'm hoping that by the time we get through this dinner, I know what my future is.
I get it.
I'm like, look, I need to know. I need to know.
That's a lot.
You're gonna run off every man. Listen, you're gonna run off a good man.
Yeah.
Good sense, loves the Lord, the whole 9 yards. 6'5", chocolate, big feet.
Oh, yeah, I need
to feet. You're going to run him off.
I need to shut up. I'm gonna shut up. That's why y'all see why I'm
No. It's not so much up.
I'm trying to get better. I'm getting healed. I'm being delivered.
Okay.
Number 6. You're being delivered.
I am being delivered as we speak.
Yeah. Look,
in the name of Jesus.
Tip number 6.
All right, let's go.
Do say yes to holiday party invites. So check this out.
Oh!
That depends.
Come on now. Really? You have to exercise your right to say no if you feel like that environment is going to exacerbate some stuff you're struggling with. We all have that friend that was married right out of high school, was married while she was in college, had the babies right after she graduated. They are the picture perfect family, and they're doing their holiday couples family party. But because they love you, they invite you so you can be up in there solo. You need that Christmas card you were talking about, Sandra. Send her that Christmas card.
Yeah.
And you need to tell her.
I would appreciate the Christmas card.
We know unicorn. We know.
When you go to that party, I
go to those parties. Rick, when I came to your party, that ugly T-shirt party, I was by myself.
That's right, you did.
Party.
If you can roll by yourself and you're fine, do it. But know thyself and act accordingly. Right. If you are not fine, stop saying yes to make other people happy so you can just be pissed all Christmas season.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's like always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Tell some folks no. They'll get over it, and if they don't, that's information. That's
how you up at that party, and because you sad and lonely, you drinking up everything. Now you embarrassing yourself. You didn't
and tip number 4 was be aware of how much you drink.
Yeah, that's the truth. That is the truth.
Or you can organize a little singles party.
Hey,
little singles holiday mixer.
There you go.
So all married folk can mix and mingle with themselves, and you can be in an environment
and all y'all can get
pressure of who you're booed up with is gone.
That's good.
What else we got?
Oh, come on. All right, guys, let's wrap this up.
Okay, only 2 more. This is good. Okay. Don't let the busy season keep you from going on dates.
Okay. Yeah,
I really can't imagine if I had a date opportunity for a date when I was single that I would like be so busy that I couldn't go. That just sounds like
this applies to married folks too, by the way. Yeah, this applies to married folks too, honestly.
No, married folks, can't you been out on a date. What I'm worried about, because this is what some people do, and I know this may not even apply to this tip, and because I've been dealing with people like somebody I was just counseling with a couple of days ago. They are finally focused.
Oh, wow.
Finally. They're on their grind. They're working their plan that I've been trying to get them to do for years. I'm proud of them. They finally, I hope they don't start dating right now. Because I don't want nothing to break this momentum. Like some people are too easily distracted.
I got you.
So, I mean, everything is kind of subjective. It's important that you know thyself.
Right.
Yes.
And operate accordingly.
All right. That's
and that's
good.
the
You make time for what's important. Right?
For what's important.
And who's important.
Yeah.
You make
Right.
time. Period.
Right.
Absolutely.
Trying to build a business and find a boo at the same time can be
That's work.
Challenging.
Yeah.
Can be challenging. Okay.
All right.
One more.
All right.
you can have it all, but not always at the same
time.
That's right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Poetry.
Yes, sir.
Do reflect on your dating and relationship goals.
Yep.
Okay.
It's always good to reflect.
Okay. Yeah, I agree.
Don't dwell though. I think there's a fine line because that could open up a rabbit hole because it's like, okay, want to be married, want to have kids, husband,
No, you gotta believe
kids,
it.
Nope.
Yeah,
dating somebody, nope. You can.
But like
any relationship,
I feel like a failure.
In any relationship, you have to play that out as far as sit down and get the relationship goals and so forth. True story. Right. Years ago, before my wife and I were married, we went to a wedding, and I don't know if you, Pastor Jose, I don't know if you ever experienced this, but anyway, we go to the wedding. Wedding was beautiful and so forth. We knew the couple. They got married before us, and I'm, shuffling my feet about getting married, the whole 9 yards. And we leave the wedding, and in the car, that should have been us. I'm like, oh man, come on, bro. I mean,
hey,
it was true.
No, it was true. Rick, I blame you. You don't take nobody dating to a wedding.
It happened. Yep. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So my point with it is that, but I'm telling you, it lit fire under me because I didn't want to lose her. But at the same time, you have to have those relationship goals, whatever that is. Dating, you take time out. There's sometimes, we have to have that talk.
Right.
And this happens. And by the way, singles, it happens in marriage where you get real busy during the season, life, whatever, and you have to sit down and have those relationship goals. Are we going out this week? We make it a point in our marriage. Mm-hmm. We go out at least twice a month. Just me and her having fun, whatever. Janine, we talked about Vegas and so forth. Nobody knows me in Vegas, and my name is Rick in Vegas, not Pastor Rick in Vegas. You see me. That's how we do a whole bunch of crazy, but you know what I'm saying? It's like, you don't want to be caught up with a whole bunch of people, and it's like you need to relax, detox.
Yeah, that's your time.
But the relationship goals are vitally important. Right. In any relationship. Right.
So if I see you in Vegas, I'm like, Richard, is that you?
Ricardo.
I might run.
Man, I love it.
Guys, let us know how we're doing. Of course, hit me up again with emails, just letting us know what things you want us to talk about. And I'll bring it to the squad, and we'll sit on the block and get it down, and and really dig deep into some of the things that concerns you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, guys, this has been good.
It was fun, Z.
This was fun.
A lot of fun.
World show.
On behalf of the ship squad, we out.
We out.
Later, everyone.